Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Put the needle on the record when the drum beats go like this.
Now, it's your chance to win a trip to see Dark Matter at the Pearl Jam Dark Matter Tour 2025 in Nashville, Tennessee. Standard text and data rates apply. Please don't text and drive.
Q101.
Let's go. Pearl Jam, the Dark Matter Tour with 10 tour dates in just 5 cities. We already got ours at Wrigley Field last year, some of the best ever. And now this year, just these few shows. So why not send you to Nashville to see them again? Because they're just good multiple times over and over again. Pearl Jam with different kinds of set lists and shows. We're sending you to Nashville in May. For round trip air, you'll get 2-night hotel stay, exclusive record store day vinyl, Pearl Jam merch, 2 premium tickets to see Pearl Jam at the Bridgestone Arena where the Predators play, and Dark Matter Lounge VIP passes. All that. All you got to do is text this thing to this one little number. It's not that hard. 95819 is the number, not our usual text number. 95819. Text the word GIVEN. GIVEN to 95819 for your chance at that Pearl Jam trip. Given to 95819. And boy, does that hit coming up in May. You need to win this because I did my math wrong. You only have 7 years. 7 years left to get whatever you want to get done in life because it's going to be disrupted pretty huge. There's a great chance at it. So
we only have 7 years left.
7 years. So think about that, Kenzie. What do you want to accomplish in the next 7 years? Because at 7, it's over.
Okay, just to clarify. So in 7 years, like, we're dead.
Just pretend that you will not do anything else after that.
I would say mainly vacations, and if that's the case, I do have to go.
Right now you need to go?
I do. I gotta split. Sorry about that. This is just abrupt news to me.
What's the first place?
The first place, I really want to go to Egypt, and I actually had my entire Egypt trip planned for the January or the very beginning of 2020, and then got a little weird.
Oh, COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to think about it for a second. I was like, why didn't you?
Because it wasn't like bad at the very like. Do you remember like early when people were like, "What's going on here?" And my friend who I was going on the trip with, who you guys know, Lana, she was like, "Hey, let's just postpone it. Like, let this will like, go over, but we don't want anything weird to happen." I'm like, okay, we'll go in like 2 months. And then it got worse.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get to go.
It didn't get better.
It did not.
It did not.
No, it did not.
That's the thing about COVID. It did not get better.
Nope.
It just didn't.
And then,
it was like,
and then the Egypt trip just didn't happen.
I'm like, I have this whole thing planned. Like, COVID just was so rude. So rude. Rude.
Well, here's
it was
the
my
thing.
dream trip.
You better get that replaned sometime in the next 7 years because what's happening is
A pandemic?
No, well, this is worse in a way. A chance of a city killer asteroid hitting Earth. The odds have gone up again in the last 24 hours. So you may have seen this come across your timeline. It was 1 in 42. That was the odds of it hitting Earth in the year 2032. So I did my math wrong, so it's 7 years from now. Now it's been increased to 1 in 32 odds of hitting Earth. 1 in 32 passes of the Earth. This asteroid will hit. It is, quote, a city killer. Not quite the asteroid in Armageddon, if you remember clearly.
What kind of damage are we?
Damage? Total, sir. It's what we call a global killer. The end of mankind. Doesn't matter where it hits. Nothing would survive, not even bacteria.
My God. What do we do?
That's the president with Billy Bob Thornton in Armageddon. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, that'd be a great movie for Case to watch, I think, this week. But he's already watching The Terminator because he's scared of AI.
That end of the world is like a different end of the world.
Different end of the world.
Yeah.
And it is kind of interesting, the timing of all this. So The Terminator will be his movie on Friday at 8.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. But so a city killer asteroid is coming. Now, what they're saying is, yes, this will not end mankind like in Armageddon or Deep Impact, but it will kill a city if it hits and goes through, if it hits the Earth. It will get through the atmosphere. Most asteroids burn up in our atmosphere. We don't know. But
what city?
It doesn't say what city it's targeting right now.
Is there a city that we wouldn't miss if it was gone?
And this doesn't mean those people die, because if we knew the city, they'd get to leave. So I'd like to clarify that. We're talking about the stuff in the city. What would we not miss?
And it doesn't have to be here. It's a big country.
That's what I mean. Obviously not here. Let's go somewhere else.
Well, then do we care about the people? I'm just, you know.
Okay, well, I don't want a bunch of children and stuff to die. That's on you, Brian, if that's how you vibe out. But
Well, what maybe Titanic rules? We get women and children out.
Yes.
there's probably some men who've done something wrong. So it's fine.
I've done nothing. I will lead the women and children out like the Pied Piper out of the city about to get hit by the
It
asteroid.
was very brave of you.
Yeah. No, I don't want anybody to die. Of course not. I don't want this to happen. I'm a space nerd and I follow this stuff. And 1 in 32, like a lot of times when they say there's an asteroid coming by Earth, it's already happened, it happens every day, really. And they say, this is 1 in 3,000 chance. Oh, let's get scared and all that. This is a 1 in 32 chance. And this is an asteroid that is 54 meters in size. So it will get through most likely if it goes through Earth, and it could kill a city.
This is so Don't Look Up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen that movie. Yes, you're exactly right.
Wow, you
This
saw
is
that
the
one.
exact one. Everyone said Don't Look Up was a metaphor for COVID, but this isn't even a metaphor. Now it's just about it.
Yeah. So what city can we lose?
Oh, God. I mean,
Like if we could divert it, let's say we can throw a nuclear missile up at it, and we're
Yeah.
saying, no, it's going to hit Chicago. No. Where should we send
what
it?
if we had to pick a city in Illinois?
Um,
If you had to pick a city and a known one, because obviously you can go practically to Iowa, and you're I don't know what's down there, but
like Carbondale?
what did Carbondale do to you? How
can I
dare
say
you?
something? Can I say something?
Well, you said I
feel
had
like
to. Yeah, you said I had to pick one.
I feel like I'm gonna get canceled. That's my issue.
Why?
But I have seen it, and again, this isn't about the people. The people there are phenomenal, and the people should leave and be safe. But from what I have seen, I'm being for real. If we have to pick a city in Illinois, I think Schiller Park we could redo and make it look nicer.
Now, why?
Because it's the cities that are right near the airports, and then it just looks like that. So many, there's so many parking garages and chains and stuff. This has nothing to do with the people. I'm just saying I think we could have kept more trees, maybe like something green.
Well, here's what we'll do. Why doesn't somebody from Schiller Park call up and defend themselves?
The Rye Guy, one of my favorite crew members, Rye Guy from Schiller Park, always checks in. I need to hear from him right now. He can probably put a valiant defense of his hometown up there.
Or if you live in Schiller Park and agree with Kenzie, you can call.
If you're a traitor.
If you can call 312-591-8300, let us know that there are trees in Schiller Park and not just parking garages for O'Hare. How about that?
I'm just saying, it has a nice layout and could be Gorgiana if we restart it. This could be the moment where grass grows and things like that.
Yep.
630 brings up a good point on the text line. This should probably be the end result for Dalton, right?
Oh.
Well, Dalton's good,
But
and
those-
not because of the people.
Well, yeah, those people have been basically ripped off for years from Tiffany Henyard, and then they get an asteroid destroy their house? I don't know. Even if
A lot of people are saying just Tiffany though, it doesn't hit anything else.
this is a city killer. It's got to kill a whole city. It can't kill just one
And
person.
it has to. That's the point. We're not saying it should kill a city. We're saying it has to.
Well, to be fair, we don't want anybody to die. But if a city has to go, but if a city has to go, I don't know. No one's calling to defend Schiller Park.
It's a bad look for Schiller Park, I gotta be honest. It's a bad look.
I mean, here's the phone lines. They're wide open. Kenzie, maybe you're on point there. I don't know. Just
I don't
start
know.
over.
I'm just saying.
Not good. That is an empty phone. Lumineers tickets were a half hour ago. Phone lines almost exploded. We asked somebody to defend Schiller Park. Phone lines got cobwebs on them all of a sudden. Not good.
Now, there's a weird text thing going on here about Oak Forest.
Okay.
The people,
What's wrong with Oak Forest?
I don't know, but a lot of people are saying that let's take that one out if the asteroids come and take out Oak Forest. I have no idea. They're not giving any excuses why.
708 said maybe they just take out Tiffany's ice rink in Dalton.
What if the asteroid bounced off the ice rink and went back up?
Oh, God, that'd be horrific. If it was like a backboard.
I don't know why people are texting in Oak Forest as something that should go if the asteroid comes and takes out a city, but that's what's getting thrown out right now.
Wow. Who would have
Listen,
thought?
some people are this is going to turn into you guys think you live in better areas. There's been a lot of nominations for Elgin, and I live in Elgin, and I like it. They're like, Elgin's crap. And I'm like, I think I live in a super nice neighborhood, so that's just me. But I'm not offended, and I live in Elgin, and it's one of the most nominated on the text line, so don't worry about it.
This is very mean. Sean texted and said nobody would miss Zion.
Where is that?
That's way north where Local H.
Is that one of the space places in Halo?
No. This is north toward the border where our great friends Local H, Scott from Local H is from, Zion, Illinois.
But if Local H is gone, you know what's the totality of the damage? If they're not there when the asteroid hits, are we missing any other exports from there?
So we save Local H.
Got to, or else Lauren's life would be over.
Oh my God.
It would be a whole thing.
Yeah. And also, they provided 30 years of joy.
God bless them. Love them to death. Fantastic.
Well, could
band.
you imagine? Because we call Lauren Eeyore. She's our Eeyore. She is beloved, but she is the Eeyore of the group. Could you imagine? Of course, if Local H gets hit. my favorite group of all the things.
A lot of people texting in, well, not a lot, but 219. So an Indiana person texted in, goodbye, Gary.
Well, that's kind of...
Maybe she just meant like her husband. Maybe she hates him.
708 brings up a good point on the text line. Kelly, do we need asteroid insurance now?
Oh, boy.
Is that something that can be covered?
I'm sure State Farm has
Insurance
some kind of
companies, could you imagine the way they'd wiggle out of that? Like,
I know.
Sorry, we don't cover ones that are completely on fire. A-holes.
Yeah. Well, listen, keep texting in, 312-591-8200. I want to make it very clear. No one is called in to defend Schiller Park who lives there. Phone line's still open. We have 10 lines and not one. That's disturbing.
Whoops.
Maybe you're onto something, Kenzie. Well, there's an asteroid coming, 2032. It has a 1 in 32 chance of hitting Earth. If we could lose one city but save all the people.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and we have had the headlines coming up in about 10 minutes at 8:20. We're talking about the asteroid that's supposed to hit in 2032, a 1 in 32 chance. So it's been increased. Let me tell you something. I've won a lot of bets on DraftKings that were worse odds than 1 in 32. And this is an asteroid, a city killer. It won't end civilization like an Armageddon and Deep Impact. At least that's what those ones were supposed to do. I'm not going to spoil the movies for Case.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say anymore. Because he's watching The Terminator at 8 o'clock on Friday because he's scared of AI, which we all should be.
Thank you.
But people are checking in on cities we could lose maybe if the asteroid got through. It's a city killer. Now, somebody mentioned Zion can go, but then we had other people text in and say, yeah, there's a nuclear power plant there. That should be a no-go. That's a no from me,
Fair.
dog.
Sorry, it's very smart. I also loved this text from Raquel773. She goes, take out the Napier villains.
Wow.
I'm like, the beef people have with certain cities is so fun.
Well, by the way,
no idea.
I want to add on this nuclear plant in Zion, by the way. It's been decommissioned. It's been closed since 1997 after a control room operator inserted the control rods too far during a shutdown of Reactor 1 and then withdrew the control rods without following procedures and obtaining supervisor permission. And it almost caused a nuclear explosion. It was $435 million problem, what happened there at that nuclear power plant in Zion.
The problem with a decommissioned nuclear power plant is that it's still a nuclear power plant. And I just don't trust that it's quote-unquote decommissioned.
Right.
What do you do? Are you just like, let's move all this nuclear power somewhere else? Like, what do you do with
Well, there's
that?
uranium there. It's hard to get rid of it.
Right.
It stays on the earth forever and causes cancer and explosions.
Not good.
Let's go to Dina in Libertyville commenting on Kenzie's take that we can lose Schiller Park. Save the people, but lose the city. Dina, ahoy. Now, I find this a little weird because you're not calling from Schiller Park. I asked for people to call from there and either defend it or agree with Kenzie on this situation.
Oh, 100%. I'm a sales rep, and I've seen every dirt town armpit of America, and trust me, that girl is so right. I want to be your best friend. I really do. I've seen and Zion is up there, though. Zion's up there. True story. I've seen every town in America.
And Schiller Park is on the top of the list?
It's up there. It's up there. Let's call that the armpit of America. But yeah.
Well, I'm really looking for Schiller Park people to defend themselves. No one's calling from Schiller Park.
No one.
And we get calls.
Well, there's her answer.
We get thousands of calls a morning. I don't know what's going on here.
As my dad would say, what are you going to do?
Wow. Kenzie, you just got a new best friend.
I know.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
All right, we have had the headlines on the way where you choose the headline of the week that was the funniest. We narrowed it down to two for you. And coming up after Pearl Jam, we'll give you those headlines, and based on the headline alone, you decide the content on which story you want to see us break down. For example, last week at this time, last week's winner was cats won't be banned in Scotland, the government confirms.
Good.
Very great story. A lot of things to chop up there. And two funniest stories of the week. We have those on deck and ready to go after Pearl Jam. Now, we've talked this morning in the last half hour about the asteroid. The odds of hitting a city and destroying it in our area are now 1 in 32 in the year 2032. So the odds have increased dramatically of a chance of taking out a city. Now, we talked about a lot of cities we could lose here in the Chicagoland area. Save the people, of course, but maybe lose the city. Kenzie brought up Schiller Park. We waited a long time to get somebody from Schiller Park on the phone to defend it, and no one's been there. Now, I think we lost, actually, we called Sarah, and we lost her, I believe. Case is trying to see if we got her back. Well, she did want to say something about Schiller Park, and would it be a city that we should lose, or she was here to defend Schiller Park. And we lost her on the phone.
Sarah from Schiller.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer that we lost her.
Did somebody take her out because she was making an inside phone call?
Case said something, maybe the government of Schiller Park. I think she was going to agree with you, Kenzie, that even though she lived in Schiller Park, that she was going to say, we can lose Schiller Park.
Maybe. Now, here's the deal. This was like gun to our head. We had to choose a city. This wasn't me being like, it shouldn't exist. That's not what was happening, okay? There was a lot of things that got thrown out there. And just to clarify, I'm not an elitist because I would argue the number one city that got Texan was Elgin, and that is where I live, okay?
Correct.
But I happen to like it, but that's just a me thing.
Now, Case has an update on what happened to Sarah in Schiller Park.
Well, she's gone. She was on hold throughout the commercial break. I think she was going to make a valiant defense of Schiller Park, and she is no more. I don't know where she went. I don't know who took her. She is not on the phone line anymore.
Do we know if the asteroid hit early, and that's why she lost the connection? It hit 7 years early, and she's gone. And Schiller Park, you'll see it breaking on CNN and all those later on, but it's gone. The asteroid hit, and Schiller Park's gone.
It's too bad. Pour one out for Schiller Park real quick.
We can do that, sure.
How do I say goodbye?
All right, that's all we can do. That's right. All right, head to headlines after Pearl Jam. Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We are giving away a chance to go see Pearl Jam in Nashville, this incredible VIP trip. And we give out a keyword all morning long, and we'll do this the rest of the week as well. But today, we'll give it out again for you in about 20 minutes in music entertainment news at 8:50. We do music entertainment news every day. So we'll give out that keyword there for you. So hang tight on that. First, it is Head to Headlines, where we compile all the funniest headlines of the week, and then we give two to you. You choose on the text line of which story you want to hear us break down. The catch is we'll never talk about the other story again. So you got to think wisely on this one. So here are today's headlines. Headline number 1. Brazil mayor was shot in fake attack for election boost, but still lost in a landslide.
That's gotta hurt the ego.
I mean, appreciate the hustle.
Love it.
And when you still lose, I guess I like to live life, and I've had a few in my life, regrets. Mm-hmm. This guy's got no regrets. He did the best thing he could to win, and it still didn't work, but he's got no regrets.
But that would make you feel bad about how people feel about you. Like, no one cared enough?
There's stuff to get through. But at least he did everything he could. He just didn't win. That's headline 1. Headline number 2, not to be outdone, is woman shot in face with crossbow at New Jersey store where $7,000 parrot was stolen. Police say.
What?
There's a lot to unpack with that headline.
Read that for me one more time.
Let me read both of them again real quick to remind you what you're voting for. Headline 1, you text in 312-591-8300 if you want headline number 1, which is Brazil mayor was shot in fake attack for election boost, but still lost in a landslide.
Ouch.
Both of them have an ouch.
The landslide hurt a lot.
And then headline number 2, if you want to hear us break down that story, woman shot in face with crossbow at New Jersey store where $7,000 parrot was stolen, police say.
Huh.
There's some good ones.
I think police said the same thing when they got on the scene. They went, huh.
It's just, they don't train you for that.
Right.
You know?
So 312-591-8300. Vote headline 1 or headline 2. And when we come back after All-American Rejects, veteran of Q101's Twisted Christmas, what a night. We will break down whichever story you want us to do. You decide the content here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Head to headlines where you decide the content of the show based on the headline alone. You tell us what story you want to hear us break down. We'll never talk about the other story again. So once again, here's those headlines before we give you the results. Headline number 1 was, these are the funniest of the week. We've narrowed it down to 2 to make it very easy for you. Headline number 1, Brazil mayor was shot in fake attack for election boost, but still lost in a landslide. Kenzie's right, the landslide part really hurts.
It seemed unnecessary.
Didn't need to be in the story.
Unnecessary detail. I would be like, I just lost. Like, relax.
I guess it's saying that if he got shot in a landslide, boy, is that really a mistake.
That stings.
And someone got shot in this story, too. Headline number 2 was, woman shot in face with crossbow at New Jersey store where $7,000 parrot was stolen, police say. Now, I think the reason headline number 2 won in a landslide, now no pun intended on the mayor shot himself in the face to try to win an election, is because that whole headline tells you the story, and maybe you just don't want to wallow in him losing in a landslide again after shooting himself in a fake attack.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll never know if that story was funnier or not because you guys chose headline number 2. Woman shot in face with crossbow at New Jersey store where $7,000 parrot was stolen. Police say, let's get into that story.
In the face.
In the face.
Bummer.
A woman was shot in the face with a crossbow Monday night at the same Bergen County store where an African gray parrot valued at $7,000 was stolen on January 23rd. The next sentence, Kenzie, is the kicker here.
Okay, I'm ready.
The 2 bizarre crimes had nothing to do with each other.
What? What store is this?
So this is in New Jersey, Bergen County, New Jersey. The victim told the New Jersey Advanced Media that they had nothing to do with each other. I thought they were connected.
You wouldn't think
You would think this is a bad day to be selling parrots.
Also, it's certainly a clickbait thing to put the parrot in the story about the woman that got shot in the face with a crossbow. Both headlines are great.
That's how you win head to headlines.
Clearly, and they combined headlines from a previous story a few weeks before with the parrot getting stolen just to throw it in there.
That's good.
To throw us off their tracks, you see.
Okay, but wait. Oh, so these are 2 separate stories we're about to get into.
Well, we'll see what listen, we read it all together here. That's why we do it, and you choose to do it. So the woman shot in the face with a crossbow at the New Jersey store had nothing to do with the $7,000 parrot stolen at the same store. Let's move forward. The store's owner, who was recovering from the crossbow shot to her face. Oh, she owned the store?
That sucks.
Wait, the one who shot it or the one who got shot?
The one who got shot. So the woman who owned the store was the one shot in the face with a crossbow.
Was someone just trying to figure out how to work it? Were they just like, these things are like, oh my God.
Well, I know you guys aren't Walking Dead fans, but I've been rewatching The Walking Dead, and Daryl is the crossbowist, if a crossbow master in The Walking Dead who kills zombies with his crossbow. And when I first saw The Walking Dead season 1 back in 2010, I wanted to buy a crossbow and learn how to use it because of the show. And I'm really glad I didn't because I don't think they're easy. I don't think it's and I think people think by watching a show like The Walking Dead, I should get one of those and be ready for the zombie apocalypse. And she, preemptively shot this poor woman in the face at her store that sold parrots that got stolen.
That's tough.
It's tough.
You should not have loaded crossbows at your store. You should be unloaded.
Well, let's see what happened here because I don't know if it was in the store.
Okay.
So the owner told the New Jersey Advanced Media that she was shot in the face Monday evening by a, quote, regular customer as she worked in her store, Birds by Joe 2 in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. The store is called Birds by Joe 2, meaning they have a 1 somewhere.
This is like in the SpongeBob movie where they have the Krusty Krab 2 next to the Krusty Krab 1.
Birds by Joe, unless it's part of her name.
Birds by Joe. It doesn't. It just says the owner. It doesn't say her name yet, so we'll see if that's her name.
Is it Joe, J-O?
J-O-E.
Oh, wow.
Joe 2.
Another curveball. Go ahead. Okay.
Okay, well, it's probably Joanne. It's probably her real name.
I think we're brushing over that it was a regular customer that shot her in the face
Well,
with a
does
crossbow.
she sell crossbow? Was there a crossbow in the store? Did somebody walk in with their own crossbow?
Well, the store is called Birds by Joe, and there's a 2. This is the 2. I don't think a bird store sells crossbows, but I could be wrong. We'll go up with the store and see what they sell
They
in
may
here.
sell crossbows. Birds love crossbows.
The owner said the man came into the store and began mumbling to himself.
Just like a guy with a crossbow.
Boy, do you run when you see that. When I got close to him, I saw the crossbow, and he shot me in the face with an arrow, she says. So he brought it in.
Her first mistake was saying, I got shot from a normal customer. It was a man mumbling to himself who came in with a crossbow, not normal customer.
Regular customer.
Regular.
I mean, he comes in a lot. Doesn't mean
I thought they meant like a regular person.
no.
like a Joe the plumber type of
Yeah,
regular
like
guy.
the everyday man. I'm like, it doesn't really sound like it.
No, a regular is someone that comes to your business office.
I understand that, Brian. I'm just saying how I took it. I understand. I got it.
It didn't seem like you did.
No, I understand when people say they have a regular, but it sounded like a regular customer, like the everyday man walked into my store.
Yeah. So she says that, when she got close to him, he shot her in the face. The woman was taken to the local hospital in stable condition and later released. I'd be in the hospital for a week if I got shot in the face with a crossbow.
I think that might be worse than getting shot in the face with anything else.
God. She was back at work on Tuesday.
That's a hustler.
And she declined to discuss the shooting incident in detail. She didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Who stole the parent?
We're not even there yet. There's a little bit left here.
Did he take it when she went to the hospital?
Here's what we'll do. We're up against it. We're up against the break. We're going to come back and let you know the rest of the story, which does include the conversation about the parrot getting stolen.
What in the... Is that why he shot her?
We'll give you all the details in 4 minutes. Stay right here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
All right, so we're doing head-to-head lines before the break, and we left you with a cliffhanger. Head-to-head lines where we read the 2 funniest headlines of the week, and based on those headlines alone, you decide the content, you choose a headline, and then we break down that story, and we never talk about the other story again. If you're new to the show, we do it every Wednesday at 8:20. We start this process. So the headline that won was, Woman Shot in Face with Crossbow at New Jersey Store where $7,000 parrot was stolen, police say. We've gotten through the whole crossbow part. The woman got shot in the face by a, quote, regular customer.
And I would like to clarify, a regular, meaning he came to the store a lot, not just like a regular guy.
No, he was not
Which
regular.
is very misleading.
She went to the hospital, she was released, and she was back at the store the next day, which
Hustler.
is what an American legend there. And then she just declined to talk about it anymore. And apparently, so just part I did not say in the previous break, this is new information for you, that the man who began mumbling and shot her with the crossbow walked out of the store after shooting her, and he has not been arrested. He just kind of left, and she refuses to talk about it. So the police, the Bergen County prosecutor in New Jersey's office, they're called to investigate, but no one's been arrested.
I don't want to victim blame. It is a little pick-me, a little try-hard, a little I'm not like other girls to get shot in the face by a crossbow and then be like, I just don't want to talk about it. It's like a whole thing. Maybe if she talked about it, we would have somebody behind bars.
To me, it's giving, I hooked up with him, I never called him back, and I feel guilty.
And again,
and I hurt his feelings.
not to victim blame, but
Pedro, what if also she has a husband? She goes, we're not going to talk about it.
So there you go. That's that part of the story. Now, what we didn't finish was we haven't talked about the parrot at all at the same store. In the headline, $7,000 parrot was stolen. Before we continue, I do want to say I verified the store is called Birds by Joe 2. There is a Birds by Joe 1.
is it right next door?
It's the city next door in New Jersey.
That's hilarious.
Yes, just want to make sure I got that done because people said, well, maybe it's like Birds by Andy. And then it's, hey, Birds by Joe 2, as in also,
G-O-O?
yeah, like we also sell birds.
You know what's weird is like, she could have just kept it, but she could have just kept it Birds by Joe. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to be like McDonald's 47.
Yeah. You know, McDonald's stores are numbered, though. We don't know that, but they all have
But it
numbers
doesn't have
on
to be in
them.
the name. You don't know the board.
Yeah, it's not in the name. It's not in the name. So let's get to the final conclusion of the story. So the shooter fled before police arrived, and they're investigating. Now, Birds by Joe 2 was in the news just last month when a man walked into the store, engaged the woman in conversation, and ran off with a cage containing an African parrot worth $7,000. Sounds like their security measures aren't up to par.
No.
He walked in and grabbed a $7,000 parrot.
Well, after making conversation with her.
Hey, how you doing today? Oh,
Yeah,
it's so good.
Walk me through what you think that conversation would be like, Brian. If you were going to steal a $7,000 parrot, how would you lead with that?
Wait, can I guess what happened really fast?
Yes.
I think he said, listen, if you don't let me steal this parrot, I'm going to shoot you in the face with a crossbow.
That certainly could have been one of them. It could have been one way it went. I was thinking more he walked in. How you doing, dear? Oh, very nice. Oh, my gosh, you have African parrots. You know, my grandmother had an African parrot. Oh, really? What was it? Well, you know, and then just whoop, I'm out. And then I'm out of there. Now, here's the delightful ending to this story. First off, a woman got shot in the face with a crossbow and an African parrot got stolen.
Not delightful.
The bird was later found safe in Patterson, New Jersey, and the man was charged with theft.
There you go.
Well, that's good.
How about that? That's today's head-to-head lines with a nice bow on it at the end.
An all-timer.
But I want that parrot. I may go back to. I may take a flight and go to that store. Coming up here in 3 minutes after Cage the Elephant, we're going to give you that keyword that you have to get in immediately for a chance at Pearl Jam in Nashville, a full VIP trip for you. 3 minutes away with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.